Lily was a bright-eyed 7-year-old with pigtails that bobbed whenever she skipped along the sidewalk. She lived in a small town known for its old-fashioned ice cream shop and a movie theater that still boasted a vintage marquee. In her cozy neighborhood, children often played hopscotch on the sidewalks while neighbors tended to their flower beds, exchanging friendly hellos. Lily's family lived in a comfortable yellow house at the end of Juniper Street, where a weeping willow provided shade on hot summer days. Her favorite pastimes included drawing pictures of her favorite celebrities and singing songs she heard on the radio, which her mom and dad loved to listen to after dinner. She had a sweet, gentle nature that radiated in everything she did, from the way she patted stray cats' heads to how she helped neighbors carry groceries. Even at such a young age, Lily believed in the magic of kindness. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Every morning, Lily sprang out of bed and dashed into the kitchen to help make lunch for the day. She loved packing sandwiches with peanut butter and jelly, carefully spreading the peanut butter before delicately swirling the jelly on top. She found it oddly satisfying, as though she were painting a masterpiece with each sticky swirl. Her parents admired her enthusiastic approach to even the simplest tasks. Lily's dad, a part-time musician, often serenaded her with guitar tunes. He once told her that small gestures could lead to big surprises, a lesson she clung to like a secret treasure. Lily held those words close, her eyes shining with the conviction that small acts of generosity might ripple outwards in ways she could scarcely imagine. During the late summer, a festival was scheduled in a nearby city, just an hour's drive from Juniper Street. It promised carnival rides, funnel cakes, face painting, and to Lily's utmost delight, a special appearance by Taylor Swift, one of the biggest names in music. Lily had discovered Taylor Swift's songs on her father's vinyl records and the occasional family road trips when they tuned in to the pop station on the radio. From that point onward, Lily's fandom blossomed. She adored Taylor's storytelling lyrics, the upbeat rhythms, and especially how warm and friendly Taylor seemed during interviews. Lily dreamed of meeting her someday and telling her how much her music meant. When the festival's announcement came, it felt like the stars were aligning, and Lily could hardly contain her excitement. The morning of the festival was bright and cloudless, a promising start to what Lily hoped would be the best day of her life. She hopped into the family's old blue sedan with her parents, a cooler full of sandwiches, juice boxes, and fruit in the trunk. Along the way, Lily pressed her nose to the window as the scenery changed from the small town roads to the busier streets of the bigger city. Her heart fluttered every time a billboard boasted a giant portrait of Taylor Swift, advertising the festival performance. She wondered how close she might get to the stage. Maybe close enough to see Taylor's face. Maybe close enough that Taylor might even look right at her. That hopeful thought danced in Lily's mind as the car turned into the festival parking lot. Among the colorful rides and bustling crowds, Lily clutched her father's hand tightly. Her mother insisted they get some snacks, but Lily was too jittery to eat. Instead, she wanted to make sure she was there well before Taylor Swift's show started. They found the designated concert area, a grassy space in front of a temporary stage. While people waited, various local musicians performed on smaller platforms. Lily was mesmerized by it all. The sound checks, the stage lights, the speakers, and the excited fans who wore Taylor Swift t-shirts or carried homemade signs. Eventually, Lily's dad spotted a place at the front of the barricades. Lily wiggled her way to the edge, her heart pounding in anticipation. The moment Taylor Swift appeared on stage, a roar tore through the festival, and Lily felt goosebumps ripple up her arms. Taylor sparkled under the stage lights, wearing a confident smile that instantly put the crowd at ease. She spoke directly to the fans, saying how grateful she was for everyone's support, and began her first song. Lily stood on tiptoe, her eyes wide and mouth slightly open, fully enraptured by the moment. She sang along to every lyric she knew, her voice small but earnest. Her parents looked on with tearful eyes, moved by their daughter's pure devotion. After the concert finished, a handful of lucky attendees were chosen for a backstage meet and greet with Taylor. Lily's heart sank when she realized she didn't have one of those special wristbands. Still, she took it in stride and told her parents that at least she got to see her idol in person. Not wanting her to be too disappointed, Lily's parents decided they would explore the festival booths and see if there was any chance to catch a glimpse of Taylor near the exit. Lily clutched the PB&J sandwich she had saved, almost as though it were a good luck charm. They found an area roped off for VIPs and staff, but Lily was too polite to push forward. Instead, she lingered near the back, eyes bright with hope, when suddenly there was a flurry of movement. A handful of security guards strode by, and in the midst of them, Lily caught a glimpse of blonde hair. She mustered every ounce of courage she had and called out, "Taylor!" Her voice was small and could have been lost in the crowd, but miraculously, Taylor Swift paused, scanning the sea of faces. Then her gaze landed on Lily. Time seemed to slow as Taylor walked over, crouching down to be closer to Lily's height. Lily's heart hammered so loudly she was sure everyone could hear it. Taylor asked her name, and Lily managed to introduce herself without forgetting how to speak. She mentioned how much she adored Taylor's music, and in that moment, Taylor looked genuinely touched. She thanked Lily warmly, then noticed the peanut butter and jelly sandwich in her hands. With a gentle laugh, she asked if that sandwich was for her. Lily felt her cheeks warm as she nodded. She had packed it hours ago, hoping there might be a moment just like this. Taylor accepted the sandwich with genuine gratitude. A few camera flashes popped around them as the security detail tried to usher Taylor away. Yet Taylor, never one to rush a heartfelt moment, told Lily that she was incredibly sweet. Before standing up, Taylor gave Lily a tight, comforting hug and said that her small act of kindness was one of the nicest gestures she had experienced all day. She placed a hand over her heart, remarking on how extraordinary it was that someone so young would offer her lunch without any hesitation. Lily's parents watched, teary-eyed, as the superstar disappeared into the backstage area, holding the sandwich that Lily had so carefully prepared. For a few moments, Lily simply stared at the spot where Taylor had stood, feeling as though she had woken up in a wonderful dream. She blinked a few times, trying to imprint that memory into her mind forever. Her father eventually guided her away from the backstage gates, and they navigated through the festival crowd, returning to the car with hearts brimming. They never expected anything more than that fleeting moment of magic, but it was enough to keep Lily smiling the entire ride home. She clutched her father's hand, the hum of the car's engine lulling her into a soft doze. She dreamed of twinkling stage lights and that warm hug that had felt like a promise. When Lily awoke the next morning, the first image in her mind was Taylor Swift's kind smile. Even though the festival was over, her heart still fluttered with excitement. She began her day as she always did, helping her mom prepare breakfast. While cutting strawberries, she kept imagining how Taylor must have felt receiving that sandwich. Did she eat it right away? Was she smiling to herself about that random act of kindness from a little girl in pigtails? Lily had no way of knowing, but something in her chest glowed with quiet satisfaction. That same day, Lily's father scrolled through social media and almost dropped his phone when he saw a post on Taylor Swift's official account. She had put up a short message thanking the fans at the festival, mentioning a sweet little fan who had gifted her a sandwich. Although she didn't use Lily's name, there was no doubt who she meant. She even posted a quick snapshot of her smiling with a half-bitten PB&J, a little flower hair tie visible around her wrist, an accessory Lily had given her in the moment without even realizing it had slipped off. Lily's father called her over to show her the post. The look on her face was priceless. She squealed, bouncing up and down with joy. She spent the rest of that day in a cloud of happiness, periodically peeking at her father's phone to read the post again. It felt like a dream that her small gesture had been recognized by someone she admired so much. Lily imagined that this was the highlight of her year, maybe even her entire life. She could hardly wait to tell her classmates, though she vowed she wouldn't brag too much. It would be enough to share her excitement with friends who would understand why meeting Taylor Swift was such a big deal. Over the next couple of days, Lily's life returned to its normal rhythm. School in the mornings, homework in the afternoons, playtime in the evenings. Yet each night before bed, she pulled her guitar out of the corner of her room, a birthday gift from her father, and strummed the few chords she had learned. She even tried to write a little song about that moment of giving her idol a sandwich. It was a funny concept, but her father had always told her that great songs often start with the quirkiest ideas. By the fourth day after the festival, Lily found herself daydreaming in class. Her teacher's voice seemed far away as Lily imagined an alternate reality in which she and Taylor Swift were best friends, sharing sandwiches at a picnic and writing songs together. That afternoon, While she and her mother browsed the grocery store for fresh fruits, Lily caught the faint tune of a Taylor Swift song playing through the store's speakers. Instantly, she was transported back to the festival. She clutched her mother's hand and told her that this memory of handing Taylor that sandwich was the best thing that had ever happened to her. On the 5th day, Lily's parents noticed that she was becoming more confident in small ways. She participated more eagerly in class, answered questions with a clear voice, and didn't shy away when called upon. She had always been a gentle soul, but now she seemed to shine with a new inner light, as though Taylor's hug had transferred a bit of stardust into her spirit. Her parents secretly cherished this change. They knew that Lily had always had a big heart, but seeing it open even wider was a gift they couldn't have predicted. On the 6th day, the family settled into their usual evening routine. Lily's mother read her a bedtime story, and her father gently picked his acoustic guitar, creating a soothing lullaby. Just as Lily was about to drift off to sleep, a notification pinged on her father's phone. He glanced at it casually, but his eyes grew wide. A representative from Taylor Swift's management team had sent an email. The official letterhead included an invitation, politely requesting Lily and her family's presence at a special event the following evening. The email was brief, leaving the details scarce, but it mentioned that Taylor herself wanted Lily to come if at all possible. Lily's father read the words aloud to his wife, both of them unsure of how their daughter might react. The 7th day dawned bright and full of promise. Lily was practically bouncing off the walls, unable to concentrate at school. She told her teacher she had a special place to be that evening, though she couldn't find the right words to convey just how special. Her parents picked her up right after school, her mother having already laid out an outfit for the occasion, an adorable pink dress with a modest sprinkling of sequins, something Lily had once described as her fancy star dress. They drove off toward the city, guided by the directions in the email, hearts pounding with excitement and a touch of nervousness. When they arrived at the address, they found themselves at a cozy, intimate venue, a small music hall lined with fairy lights and filled with the hum of conversation. There was a poster on the door announcing a private charitable event hosted by Taylor Swift, but no specifics about who was invited. Lily clutched her parents' hands as they stepped inside. Laughter and gentle music floated through the air. To Lily's wide-eyed amazement, she spotted Taylor Swift near the front, greeting people with her characteristic warmth and humility. The moment Taylor noticed Lily, her face lit up. Without missing a beat, Taylor leaned down and gave Lily a big hug, just as she had done at the festival. She thanked Lily for coming and explained that the event was a small benefit to support a local children's hospital. Taylor went on to share that Lily's spontaneous generosity with that peanut butter and jelly sandwich had inspired her deeply. That one selfless act had reminded Taylor of why she loved music and bringing people together. It occurred to her that small gestures of kindness can spark bigger actions, so she decided to organize a heartfelt gathering to raise funds for children in need. Lily listened, her eyes brimming with tears of wonder. Taylor then told Lily that she would like her to be involved in the evening's proceedings. Lily's parents exchanged curious glances, but Lily simply nodded, trusting whatever Taylor had planned. The next thing she knew, Lily was standing on the small stage at the front of the room, her pigtails tied back with ribbons. Taylor introduced her to the audience, recounting how they had met just a week earlier. She spoke of Lily's thoughtfulness and how that simple sandwich had moved her more than any grandiose gift could have. The crowd listened attentively, touched by the story of a little girl who gave what she could to brighten someone else's day. Once the storytelling concluded, Taylor led Lily by the hand to a nearby stool. Waiting there was a small guitar, sized just right for her. Lily's father watched from the front row, tears in his eyes, as Taylor explained to Lily that she had heard about her interest in learning the guitar. To Lily's astonishment, Taylor said she wanted to give her a proper lesson right then and there, in front of everyone, and maybe they could even sing a little tune together. The applause that broke out echoed like thunder in the small venue. Lily's cheeks flushed red, but she felt a warm surge of joy and bravery. After a few encouraging words from Taylor, Lily's fingers plucked at the strings. Taylor guided her gently, placing her hands on the fretboard to form the chords. Although Lily's motions were tentative, her spirit soared. She looked over at Taylor, who was smiling from ear to ear, and realized that this moment was as close to magic as she had ever come. Taylor gestured for the crowd to join in, and softly they hummed a tune. The synergy was indescribable, a melding of generosity, compassion, and music that swirled in the air like stardust. Once Lily had strummed her final chord, Taylor leaned in and whispered something in her ear. Lily's face lit up and she nodded excitedly. Taylor addressed the crowd, announcing that Lily had just made a small request. Could everyone be part of a sing-along of a classic Taylor Swift chorus with Lily playing a simple strumming pattern? The audience erupted in support, and within seconds, Lily found herself leading a chorus of familiar voices. Her parents could barely believe what they were witnessing. The unstoppable wave of music filled every corner of the hall, lifting hearts and filling them with hope. As the night proceeded, various guests contributed to the fundraiser, donating generously to help the children's hospital. Meanwhile, Lily remained on stage, taking a seat off to the side, absorbing each moment like a sponge. Her mind reeled from the extraordinary chain of events that had been set in motion by handing over a humble PB&J sandwich. Each time Taylor glanced over at her and winked or smiled, Lily felt like she was glowing from within. It was as if they shared a special secret about how the world could be changed through the simplest acts of care. Following the performances, there was a brief intermission before a final round of speeches. During this break, Lily was invited backstage, where Taylor Swift handed her a small gift bag. Inside was a handwritten thank you card, a sparkly guitar pick shaped like a heart, and a bracelet engraved with the words, "Small Axe, Big Heart." Lily's breath caught in her throat. She looked up at Taylor with tears pricking her eyes, unsure of how to properly say thank you. Taylor assured her that no thanks were necessary. Lily's kindness had already done so much. A little later, the final portion of the evening began. Taylor took the microphone, thanking the crowd for their incredible generosity. She also gave a special shout out to Lily once more, telling everyone that this little girl reminded her why making music was about more than just hits and fame. It was about connecting with people on a deeply human level. Lily blushed at the praise, but she stood proudly beside Taylor, her tiny hand wrapped around Taylor's arm. This was the culminating moment. The donation amounts were announced, revealing that the event had raised a substantial figure for the children's hospital. Enough to upgrade a ward with new equipment and fund several months of art therapy programs. The audience erupted into cheers. Several children in attendance rushed forward to hug Lily, as if her example of giving a sandwich had sparked an outpouring of love. Tears gathered in her mother's eyes while her father clapped so hard it felt like thunder. In the swirl of applause, Lily spotted a cameraman capturing every detail. She realized that the memory of this night would be preserved in countless photos and videos, as a testament to how one small act could grow into something magnificent. As the event wound down, Lily felt a gentle sense of sadness that it would soon be over. She wanted to stay in that place of enchantment where celebrities and everyday people united to bring about real change. Yet she also felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She had never expected any reward for her small kindness. All she wanted was to share her peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a person who had brought so much joy into her own life. Now, a week later, she stood at the heart of an event that had brought hope to many children. She embraced that truth, her heart brimming over with warmth. When the last notes of farewell music faded, Lily and her family were escorted to a quiet corner of the hall. Taylor found them once more, giving Lily a final hug. She kissed the top of Lily's head and said she hoped they could stay in touch. Then she encouraged Lily to keep practicing her guitar and to never stop believing in the power of a simple, kind act. Lily promised she would do both. Her parents shook Taylor's hand, expressing their own heartfelt gratitude for everything she had done. With that, they exchanged goodbyes under the delicate string lights that twinkled overhead like 1,000 tiny stars. On the drive back, Lily was unusually quiet, gazing out the window at the passing headlights. She clutched the gift bag and the bracelet, occasionally glancing at her dad in the rearview mirror. Her mind swirled with the realization that dreams could become reality in the blink of an eye. It made her ponder all the ways people could make a difference in each other's lives without knowing how far the ripples might go. She thought of the children in the hospital who would benefit from the funds raised that night, and how each one might feel a little more hopeful because of something as small as a sandwich. Lily tried to put her thoughts into words for her parents. She spoke softly, describing how she used to think that good deeds had to be big and dramatic, like donating a huge sum of money or rescuing someone from a fire. Yet now, she understood that sometimes the tiniest acts have the potential to glow the brightest. Her parents listened attentively, nodding in agreement and smiling at the depth of her newfound perspective. They assured her that she'd grasped a lesson many adults never learn, that kindness, no matter the size, can spark extraordinary outcomes. In the days and weeks that followed, Lily held on to those memories like precious jewels. She continued practicing her guitar every evening, growing more confident with each chord. At school, she found herself defending classmates who felt alone or left out, inviting them to join her circle of friends. She started a small kindness club during lunchtime, where a group of classmates wrote encouraging notes to teachers and staff members. Lily's teacher admired this initiative, often telling the rest of the class that Lily was an example of how a little compassion could transform someone's day. Word spread around the school about Lily's unusual and amazing experience. Some older kids even asked if she was telling the truth, half suspecting that she was spinning an elaborate fantasy. But Lily's teacher, who had seen newspaper clippings and social media posts documenting the charity event, confirmed every detail. That validation turned Lily into a bit of a local legend. Instead of letting the attention go to her head, Lily used it as an opportunity to encourage others to pay small acts of kindness forward. Whether it was sharing lunch with someone, complimenting a friend, or helping a neighbor with yard work. In her free time, Lily liked to watch the videos posted online from that special benefit night. She relived the moment she strummed guitar chords under Taylor's guidance and the triumphant applause that followed. Each time she watched, she felt butterflies dancing in her stomach. It was both exciting and humbling to see a tangible example of how an otherwise ordinary day could shift into something extraordinary through a single gesture. When winter came, Lily wrote a letter to Taylor Swift, updating her on how she was practicing guitar diligently and telling her about the kindness club at school. She didn't actually expect a response. After all, Taylor was a world-famous pop star with an incredibly busy schedule, but writing the letter felt like a way to keep the magic alive. She pressed the envelope shut with a sticker and placed it in the mailbox with a hopeful smile. A few weeks later, a package arrived on Lily's doorstep. It had a special stamp from a city that Lily recognized as the location of one of Taylor's studios. With trembling hands, she unwrapped it to find a signed poster, a pair of brand new guitar strings, and a short handwritten note from Taylor. The note said that Taylor was proud of her for continuing her music and for encouraging kindness in her community. It ended with a playful, "P.S. Keep spreading that PB&J love." Lily grinned so widely her cheeks hurt. She read the note aloud to her parents, who were equally moved that Taylor had taken the time to respond. That evening, Lily carefully placed the poster on her bedroom wall, right above the spot where her guitar rested. She placed the note in a protective folder, promising herself she'd keep it forever. Then, in a surge of inspiration, she picked up her guitar and composed a simple melody in honor of her journey. The lyrics came in a flow of honesty about how a tiny act of generosity can change more than just one life. It can shift the entire atmosphere around you. She called the song "A Sandwich for a Song." By the time summer rolled around again, Lily had become somewhat of a local ambassador of kindness. She participated in community food drives, organized a small bake sale at school that donated the proceeds to the local homeless shelter, and performed her guitar at a nearby nursing home with a group of friends. Even though she was only 8 years old by then, her determination and goodwill inspired people of all ages. Everyone in town came to know that behind her gentle smile and playful giggle was a spark of determination that refused to fade. Whenever people asked Lily about her motivation, she told them the same story. She gave a sandwich to Taylor Swift and realized that little actions could create big, beautiful waves. She spoke about the fundraiser night, describing how people came together, not because of any grand event alone, but because the concept of generosity was contagious. Whether they were fans of Taylor Swift or not, they left that music hall with renewed faith in humanity. The local newspaper once ran a feature on Lily, dubbing her the PB&J philanthropist. The headline made her giggle, but she appreciated the sentiment. She never wanted to be famous for her deeds. She only wanted to make a difference in her small corner of the world. For the most part, life moved on as usual: school, chores, playtime, family dinners. But that unwavering glow in Lily's heart remained. Every PB&J sandwich she made reminded her that even an unassuming lunch could hold the power to transform a life, if paired with genuine love. Years later, when Lily was asked to speak at her high school graduation, she reflected on that pivotal moment: a tiny peanut butter and jelly sandwich that bridged the gap between a small-town girl and a global superstar. She recounted the 7 days after the festival, each day a stepping stone leading to the unforgettable night of charity and community. She wrapped her speech by challenging her classmates to look for little ways to show kindness, ways that might seem insignificant but could turn out to be life-changing. The audience rose in applause. Long after that festival had become a nostalgic memory, Lily continued to write and perform her own music. She never forgot the gratitude she felt when she stood beside Taylor Swift on that tiny stage, guitar in hand. Every time she sang in front of an audience, be it a local coffee shop or an open mic night, she recalled the lesson that had been etched in her heart. Sometimes the grandest gestures aren't the ones that change the world. More often, it's the small kindnesses, the thoughtful acts we might overlook, that hold the mightiest power to alter the course of someone's journey. On a breezy autumn afternoon, Lily found herself flipping through old photos on her phone. She stumbled upon the snapshot of her offering Taylor Swift the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bright ribbons tied in her hair. The memory swept over her, filling her with warmth. Life had carried her forward, but the awe and joy from that day still shimmered like sunshine on water. She closed her eyes and breathed in the sense of wonder. In the deepest part of her soul, she knew it was a moment she would cherish forever. If ever there was a testament to the magic that can unfold from a small act of kindness, Lily's story was it. A chance encounter, a spontaneous gift, and 7 days later, a life-changing event that ignited charitable action. This sequence of events not only opened a world of possibility for Lily, but also brightened the lives of countless children at the hospital that benefited from the fundraiser. The community recognized how a little girl's sandwich became a cornerstone for something beautiful and profound. As the years passed, Lily's story was told and retold at family gatherings, community events, and among her circle of friends. It evolved into a gentle reminder that one never knows the far-reaching impact of a gesture as simple as sharing food with a hungry musician or comforting someone in need. In Lily's case, her gift had gone on to inspire philanthropic efforts, bring hope to sick children, and shape her own destiny in ways she never could have predicted. Even when Lily grew older, she never lost the sparkle of childlike wonder that had led her to hand that PB&J sandwich to Taylor Swift. She championed acts of compassion wherever she went, carrying her guitar on her back and her heart on her sleeve. Her music, shaped by her beliefs, rang with a hopeful undertone that reminded listeners that somewhere, someone's small act of kindness might be the miracle they've been waiting for. And though Lily could easily credit that festival day as the start of her extraordinary journey, she knew it was really just an affirmation of what her dad had told her all along. Small gestures can lead to big surprises. On quiet nights, when the wind rustled through the weeping willow outside her old house on Juniper Street, Lily sometimes wondered if Taylor still thought about the sandwich. She imagined Taylor off on tour, performing in front of thousands, recalling that one little girl who shared her lunch. Lily smiled at the thought. Whether Taylor remembered or not, Lily did. That single memory served as proof that within the simplest, most ordinary moments, giving a sandwich to someone one admires, there might be a spark that lights up the darkness, forging connections and spreading a warm, hopeful glow throughout the world. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what do you think happens after the little girl gives Taylor Swift the sandwich? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.